Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first tabletop play of Escape the Dark Castle. It's been quite a while since I've done a traditional tabletop board game slash tabletop RPG in a sense, but this is going to be my first time trying this game out. Just bought it today, and it's quite simple from what it looks like. I have everything laid out here per the rules. We may house rule some things. I might not follow the rules exactly, but I have the rule book here just in case I reached a roadblock during play. But let's jump right in. So I have the two-player here for solo, which is recommended to have two-player characters. I have Abbott right here, and I have Smith. So it looks like Abbott's strength is, let's see, you have cunning, power, and I think the star is going to be, let's see, wisdom. So he's wisdom, and looks like power is Smith's advantage. So just want to remember that we have cunning, power, wisdom, and for Smith we have power, wisdom, cunning is Smith's least. So to start, we have all the chapter die right here in this little bucket. We have the item cards here, which are blocked by my very expensive lighting equipment, aka my kitchen light, and we have the chapter cards, which I will play right here in the middle of the screen just so you guys can see it. So you have the Start Castle card, which you always put on top. And FYI, this is not going to be a tutorial or anything. I'm assuming anybody watching this is just along for the ride or at least has seen uh, this game in action. So let's go first. Remember, I'm not going to be following the rules exactly to an extent. The first chapter card is going to be a challenge. So right off the bat, we encounter a monstrous winged creature swoops at you from the darkness above. Its hunting cry is deafening. You, which will be most likely Abbott here, must try to roll cunning or double in one attempt. Success means you react quickly and dive aside. Begin combat. Failure, it's class slasher shoulder. You lose 2 HP. Begin combat. Combat special. After a player has taken damage from this creature, they can no longer block it. So we have to remember that. I have the character sheets here, and the character sheets are literally just these little neat themed note take pieces of paper. So it's recommended for one or two player characters. You start with 18. It gives you a little advantage, obviously, to start. But from what I remember, you have to line up the dice, the chapter dice, with what it has down here. So we have one. This is what it takes to essentially defeat this creature. Okay, so we have to let's set up the chapter dice first. We have cunning, we have wisdom is required. We have then the two, so the little person icon is the amount of chapter dice equal to the amount of characters. So we roll. Let me get something to roll on because I realized I don't have anything that's good for that. I'd stop right here. We'll use this little tray. So we have these two, which will be required to defeat this enemy, this monstrous winged creature. So you, meaning this character Abbott, has to roll first a cunning or double to attempt and react. Okay, good. So we rolled a double. Begin combat. I'm going to say that Smith also has to roll. He's right here, so Abbott is good to go. He's safe. He rolled doubles. Let's see what Smith has to roll here. Smith rolled this, which is not good enough. That's his strength, but it's not good enough to dodge. So Smith takes 2 HP loss, so he's already down to 16. All right, so both are in combat. If I did that right or wrong, I'm not too worried about it. Basically, now we're in combat. So combat, we just have to roll our dice and see all at once if we are able to get any of these rolled results. Looks like I got 2 of them. So it's 1 eye, so 1 cunning and 1 uh, wisdom. I've already forgotten the wisdom. Yeah. Okay. So we remove these 2. However, what's left is the wisdom and power, which we did not get enough to stop the creature in its tracks. It will have to deal damage equal to this number in the bottom right, which is 2. So both characters, if I'm not mistaken, as usual, take damage. So we are down. Abbott is down to 16. Smith is down to 14. As it says here, special combat special. After players take damage from this creature, they can no longer block. So we cannot block at all. We have to genuinely defeat this creature head on. So let me move my camera just a bit. Go. Okay, and then just want to readjust centering it so you guys can see. Okay. Now let's roll again. This is the next round. Abbott and Smith are both going to do the usual. And they both have the fist power, which only removes 1 of the dice. So the creature's still good to attack and cannot block. So once again, we're down to 12. And Abbott's down to 14. So now we're back to attacking. Okay, we both got wisdom, which means a creature has been defeated. And I think after you defeat a creature, you can draw an item. Sometimes the cards just simply say draw items for everybody, but we draw 1 item after defeating this creature, which we just did. Looks like we got an Elixir of Insight potion. Discard before any round of combat to change any chapter die to show a trait of your choice. Okay, that's interesting. So I'm going to put this on Abbott's side because he has the favoritism and wisdom. And then let's put their dice back in the respective piles. Smith and Abbott. So this chapter card is done. We now move on to the next chapter card. And I think I draw too many. Nope, that's good. All right. There is a deafening roar and the passageway begins to shake. A section of the old wall beside you collapses and you are buried beneath chunks of heavy stone. So it says you are incapacitated. To remove the rubble crushing you, the other players must roll in unison, keeping track of any might rolled until they have rolled a total might equal to the number of players, which is 2. After each attempt, you lose 1 HP until the total is reached. If you have not been rescued after 3 attempts, you manage to crawl from the rubble and continue on your way. Okay, so we have up to 3 rolls, essentially, until we actually escape, but any unsuccessful rolls results in 1 HP depleted from each character. So we will do the first roll. We need to roll might, which I've been mistakenly calling power. But essentially, we gotta roll might. Okay. We rolled. Okay, so we rolled 2 equal to the player, which that does count. So It says here to remove the rebel crush, any other players must roll in unison, keeping track of any might rolled until they have rolled a total equal to, which we did. So that means this chapter card is complete. There are no items to draw here. So we have successfully, I don't think there's any items because this was not technically an enemy. So we have successfully averted losing any HP. Now there is a thing called resting, which is during combat. For resting, you have to take a knee, basically, stay out of combat, but you leave your one character vulnerable, one less die to attack. So at the beginning of each combat round, before the players attack, one player can choose to rest, hanging back from the fight to momentarily recuperate. A resting player does not roll to attack, does not take damage, and cannot use items. Instead, the player gains 1 HP for each round that they rest. The resting player can rejoin combat at the beginning of any round they choose, or can rest for the entire combat if they wish. So you cannot rest, at least based on what I'm seeing here, you cannot rest in between cards. It has to be a combat initiative. It has to be a combat round. So, because I'm looking at my depleted HP for mainly Smith. Now we still have this card, this potion here, Abbott. Discard before any round of combat to change any chapter die to show a trait of your choice. So essentially, we could modify the chapter dice. Now, what I want to clarify here before we get to the next chapter card is combat itself. And when you land on the appropriate chapter die, do you remove all the relevant die or just one of the relevant die? That's one thing I was a bit confused on, depending on what it says here. So, when you attack, to begin a round of combat, each participating player simultaneously rolls their die to make an attack, then in any order the player choose. Resolve these attacks one at a time. If a player has rolled on their character die matched any of the chapter die laid out beneath the chapter card, they remove a corresponding chapter die to score a hit, placing it back to the pool above the castle. Double counts as 2 hits of the trait die shown. So 2 dice. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to clarify. I want to make sure we got that right. I can't roll one and then remove all of the similar dice. Next card. Behind door number 3. So again, another creature, this odd-looking ghoulish creature. A creature stitched together using butchered animal parts scuttles towards you. It is so hideous you instinctively lash out. Begin combat, but you get to make one attack before the first round, taking no damage. Okay, so let's lay out the dice as usual. It is a wisdom die and 2 of the player dice, or 2 of the character amount of dice. So I rolled 2 cunning dice. That's what we'll have to roll. And we get to begin combat. The special, the first time this creature is defeated, before drawing an item card, roll a chapter dice. If the result is might, it regenerates. You must restart combat and defeat it the second time. That is a very interesting combat special. So, we get to make one free attack. It says one attack. So I'm going to assume I'm going to choose Abbott for this one. Sorry, Smith, Mr. Smith over here for this one because he has the fist. He's got the might. Oh, I have my dice backwards. Okay, there we go. So let's roll for one free attack. I rolled this, which means we get to remove the first of its core ability. Now we have the leftover 2 character dice, 2 chapter dice. Okay, so now we're in combat, which means we start with Abbott. I'm sorry, we both roll. So I'll put this right here so you guys can see it. Sometimes I'll forget. Okay, we did not have a successful attack. We've already took care of that one, which means it attacks us. It only does 1 damage. We have nothing to block. But one thing I forgot to do here was the elixir of insight. before any rounds. Okay, so let's just tally the one damage we get. So 13 for Abbott, and then Mr. Smith has 11. Now we can choose to change before any round of combat. We're going to use this potion. We're put off to the discard pile and change one of these to a choice of our own. I will do the fist because that's what Smith specialty is. Okay, so now we're going to roll again. It's back to our turn. We have, okay, there's one the fist and the eye. Okay, so we defeated it. The first time the creature's defeated, before drawing an item card, roll a chapter dice to see if it regenerates. So the chapter dice, the character dice are back in their player piles. We have to roll. If we get might, oh my gosh, okay, that's considered a reroll. Okay, good. It does not regenerate. The creature is dead. DED dead. So now we draw an item card. Okay, looks like I didn't shuffle these too well. Let me check my deck really quick. Okay, so I completely spaced on shuffling the item deck. So I did so, and once again, we draw the same card. But I'm going to just roll with it and keep it. Discard before any round to change the chapter. I'm going to give this one to, again, Abbott. All right, now we're going to draw another chapter card. So we try to escape this castle. Another enemy. Okay, this one is, looks like it's a lower level. So we have, you sense something strange in this chamber. There is a sudden drop in temperature and the air grows still. Then you see it. As a group, choose one option. Flee. The specter steals part of your soul and you lose 2 HP. Fight. Begin combat. Combat special. You are terrified and any might you roll, this chapter has no effect. Really? Any roll of might has no effect. But the might is right there. So that's confusing. You are terrified at any might you roll, this chapter has no effect. Well, we will cross that bridge once we get to it. So let's get the might here, and then the 2 usuals that we have to roll for. I already have one on the deck here. Okay, so we have 2 wisdoms. We have to roll. Okay. Well, I can probably use the elixir to change. We will do combat, so we'll fight. But I can use the elixir to change the fist. Well, the fist is Smith's. I'm going to change the fist to wisdom. Okay. Actually, any chapter die. Okay, yep. I'm just gonna say if that's a house rule or not. I'm gonna affect the core die. I call it the core die because it's the first one here. Then the person one is all the chapter dice from the character quantity. All right, so we're going to attack first this creature here, and we get 2 doubles. All right, but then we get 1 damage from its turn. So we're down to 12, and then 10. Now it's our turn again to attack. Nice. Wow. Okay, glad I changed it. So that means the creature's defeated. So we didn't have to do that might thing. All right, we draw 1 card. Please don't be a potion or elixir. Effervescence Evasion Potion. Whenever you would lose HP, discard this item to lose none. All right, we'll give this to Abbott again. All right, so let's, before this gets too tall, I'm going to disregard these cards here. Next is going to be, looks like 2 people. You turn a corner and step right into the path of 2 guards. They exchange a puzzled look, then lunge to restrain you. As a group, choose one option. Flee, you're forced your way past them, but not before taking several glancing blows. Each player does 1 fight to begin combat. They have 2 damage, and they require 2. Well, let's fight. So we roll here. Okay, they're both might, the fist. So we have to roll to attack first. Rolling now. Okay, so Smith rolls the fist. Abbott rolls unsuccessful, but we do defeat at least, I guess, technically one guard. All right, now they attack. We get 2 damage, and then it looks like Smith is down to 8. He probably should rest pretty soon. So we're gonna roll again, and nothing. Okay, they attack. Oh, I'm sorry. They attack, but I'm not gonna lose HP. I'm gonna use my card here. So Abbott does not lose any damage, but Smith does. He's down to 6. So I'll disregard this potion here. And now it's our turn again. Okay, 2 fist for Abbott, defeating these 2 guards that we just stumbled into. That card is done. Item. Okay, Brew of Might. Discard to apply a single might at any time. I'll give that to Smith, obviously. Let me make sure I shuffled the chapter card successfully, because we're running into a lot of creatures, or a lot of, well, we've had one event, so perhaps I should keep it as it is, which was the wall crumbling, the ceiling falling on us. Okay, next chapter card. I'm guessing it's a villain. Nope, it looks like it's going to be an area of a lot of traps. At the end of this winding passage, a wooden chest covered in cobwebs is protected by a gauntlet of vicious-looking traps. As a group, choose one option. Move on, it's not worth the risk. Turn the next chapter card. Risk it. Nominate a player to try and retrieve items from the chest. They must roll cunning in one attempt and may try this as many times as there are players. For each success, draw an item card. 2 on a double cunning. For each failure, the nominated player loses 2 HP. Well, okay, cunning is going to be, looks like neither of them. So I'm trying to figure out if these markings actually do matter. I don't see the relevance yet. I'm trying to find the other player cards. It looks like it's always 4-3-1 based on the other player cards. So I'm assuming it doesn't matter. Like these aren't ability modifiers or anything. So what to do? Agent Smith is hurt. He's more than halfway past his health. Abbott has 10 out of 18. They're gonna pass. Mm, I mean, Abbott's specialty is, I think, what we require here. Cunning is, no, cunning is the eye. I'm sorry, it's not his specialty. Wisdom is the star. I keep forgetting that. So the asterisk. We're gonna pass. So we pass the chapter card. We don't draw anything. Next, we run into an enemy. Looks like you are knocked unconscious and dragged down a side passage. You awaken strapped to a table where a man in a filthy apron is scraping rust from a jagged blade. You are to be test subject for the castle's torturer. To be a test subject for the castle's torturer. You must endure the pain until your absence is noticed and you are rescued. Roll your character die 5 times. For each roll that is not might or a double, you lose 1 HP. Okay, so I'm thinking this is one character here. So let's say Abbott is the one who gets into this predicament and he's getting rescued from Smith. This is not a group effort. So Abbott has to roll the dice here. Now roll 5 times. Each time it's not a might or a double, you lose 1 HP. Okay, so 1, that's 1 HP. Okay, I pull a line here to represent where this happens. He did not roll, he had 2 wisdoms. All right, 2. Oops, I'll consider it because it was might. So that's 2. The third time, Okay, that's HP. The third is down, so we're down to 8 now. The fourth time, that's another wisdom. That's another HP down. The fifth time is wisdom again. So he was hurt down to 6 and then eventually rescued from Smith. And I think that's how it works. All right, so that wasn't essentially combat, that was a event. Okay. You pass through a chamber which serves as a cesspit below the castle previs. Previs? Privis? Privis? As you pick your way through the filth, something unusual catches your eye. Draw an item card. Okay, we got another potion. Let's see. Effervescent again, evasion. Whenever you lose HP, disregard this item to lose none. Okay. I clearly did not shuffle the deck good enough, but that's okay. So this card is done. Ooh, a series of long blades swing from the ceiling of this narrow passageway. You study the pattern of their movement and prepare to dash through to the other side. In unison, all players must roll their character die along with one chapter die 3 times. Each time a player's chapter die matches the chapter die they rolled, sorry, each time a player's character die matches the chapter die rolled, they are caught by the blades and lose 2 HP. Yikes. If the player rolls a double on any of the 3 rolls, they survive that roll without taking damage. Okay. The player rolls a double on any of the 3 rolls, they survive that roll without taking damage. So what about if it doesn't match? So we're going to roll 3 times in unison. Each player has to roll with a chapter die, and they are caught by the blades and lose HP. 2 HP. Each time a player's chapter die matches the character die matches the chapter die they rolled, they caught. Okay. Remember, we do have this card here. All right, so here we go. We're gonna roll 3 times. Whoops. Well, I'll just kind of consider it as it is. So each player matches, they're caught. So this was Abbott. He takes 2 damage. Yikes. But Smith is good. That's 1. 2. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I almost forgot to use the potion I have. Oh my God, they both take it. So I'll use the potion for Abbott to not sustain any damage, but discard to apply a single might at any time. I'm going to use the potion here for Smith to apply this might to change his to might, so he's safe. They both use their potions respectively. All right, the last time. Okay, they are both safe. Looks like. Okay, good. So Abbott, Smith, and Mill. All right, and they are managed to cross that passage, taking minimal damage. They have to heal. They're really low on health. Let's see here. So we got a Zubat rolling in here. Without warning, a swarm of giant bats burst into the passageway. You can only cower beneath the overwhelming blur of wing and fang. As the bats swarm past, each player in turn must roll their character die along with 3 chapter dice. After rolling, a player loses 1 HP for every chapter die that matches their character die. Player rolls a double or rolls no matches, they are unharmed. Okay, so any match considered damage, each player in turn must roll. So we could basically go twice. All right, so Abbott is first, and each match is 1 HP, and the chances are high because we're 1 against 3. All right, here we go. This is for Abbott. All right, so he takes 1 damage. He's down to 3 now. He's almost a goner. Then Smith. Oh, double, so we're good there. And yeah, no damage. So Smith is safe because of the doubles. Mr. Anderson is safe. Abbott and Costello. All right, this card is done. Looks like another area. This passageway leads to a set of old stone steps. They descend into a flooded cave. The water is murky, but a dim light is visible some distance below. You take a deep breath and dive, kicking towards the light. Each player must try to roll a double in one attempt for each player. Okay. Success, you make it through, surfacing on the other side. Failure, you begin to flounder, lose 1 HP, and try again. If you have not succeeded after 3 attempts, you make it through, breathless and exhausted. Okay. So they're looking at this underground water passage, and I feel like I want to give my characters a little time to rest. Now, like I said, I don't see a rule about resting in the traditional sense, like an RPG, because again, this game is pretty brutal. You can die, and that might be a reason to just continue on without resting, because this video would go on much longer. So let's just continue as it is. Perhaps can make a house rule in the future, but roll 1d4 to heal after a little rest, and I have my dice right off camera, my actual D&D dice. But let's do what this card says. So each player must um, try to roll a double in one attempt for each player. So let's do first Abbott. He has to roll a double. If not, he loses 1 HP. Oh my gosh, he's good. Okay, he'll make it through. Wow, what luck. Okay. Smith. Oh my gosh, okay. What luck. We're good. That was completely luck. Now make it through. Because you get 3 attempts to do so if you don't succeed on the first roll. All right, we got some skeletons here. In actual combat. Looks like there is actually 2 different types. The passage takes you past dark, unlocked cells. From inside, the sound of bony hands clutching steel is unmistakable. We encounter a few to charge them, which would be this one. Lure them out, less damage. So more damage to charge them with less to require to hit, or more required to hit with less damage taken, possible damage taken. So let's focus. Let's try to lure them out. So we will draw 2, or I should say set 2 Fist Might die, like so, and then 2 more per a roll equal to the amount of characters we have. So another Fist die, and a Cunning. All right, so I like to separate these here based on the type. Okay, now I just realized I can probably just lower the camera so you guys can see my tray. There we go. Because what really matters is the middle here, is this section here. So there we go. Okay, first combat, we're loading them out, so we get to attack first. So Abbott, Smith, both roll. Maybe I can put these off the side here. There we go. I'll do that next time. My apologies. This is my first time doing this game, so I'm trying to figure out, a rhythm here. All right. Smith gets 1 hit. Double for Smith. I'm sorry, Abbott got a hit. Smith got a hit. Abbott got nothing. Okay. But doubles is a block, I believe. Have I been failing that? Let's look this up. I believe I've not been following that rule correctly. Let's look it up really quick. Defending, basically. If any character dice remain after each character attack after has been fully resolved, the enemy is still alive and attacks back. Every character who did not block takes immediate damage simultaneously, losing HP equal to the attack value of the enemy. Characters that take damage should subtract it. Characters who rolled a double have blocked, taking no damage that round. Okay, so I've probably made this mistake several times already in this video, but Abbott gets to block incoming damage. Smith does not, despite the fist. So they deal 1 damage in the path we chose. So Smith is down to 5. Okay, as they attack us. Now let's roll. Abbott. Okay, so we got Cunning here. That was Smith. He able to take down another skeleton. We have 2 more left, just judging by the dice here. But they both take 1 damage. So Abbott is down to 2. Smith is down to 4. All right, rolling again. Ooh, okay, so block, but no damage to the skeletons. All right, so Abbott takes 1 damage. He's actually almost dead. And now resting, you have to, let's see. Abbott is down to his last breath. At the beginning of each combat round, before the player attacks, one player can choose to rest, healing basically 1 HP per round. So Abbott will take a step back, like so, and he will not attack, leaving his friend, or, well, we'll call him a friend, to fend for himself. So now he's going to heal after this round. So I'm going to heal him back to 2. And Smith attacks. Oh, and he got exactly what we wanted. He took both of these out, and he was able to block if there was more. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So, Abbott healed, kind of a house rule. If it was supposed to be after that attack, blah, blah, blah. But he still healed successfully, which means we survive these little skeleton attack, and we get an item to draw. Okay, Rotten Shield. I remember seeing this in some videos. Whenever you lose HP, reduce the amount by 1 down to the minimum of 1. Okay, that's definitely going to go to Abbott. He is the most hurt. Smith is still hanging on by 4 HP. So that card of skeletons is done. We go to the next card here. Oh gosh, okay, another creature. Where there was once flesh and fur, the bones of the skeletal base now crackle with the menacing power of dark magic. Begin combat. Combat special, if you want to follow it. Whenever you would remove a chapter die by hitting this enemy, roll it instead. If the result is wisdom, do not remove it. Put it back wisdom side up. Okay. So we have the 2 set die. 1 is the star, and 1's the eye, so cunning and wisdom. Then 2 per the characters, so this might be our undoing. So we have 2 more eyes here. Okay. This is not looking good for our team of innocent prisoners. So, let's begin. We roll, as usual, in unison. Hopefully a block. We have nothing. Both rolled might, but that does not do anyone good here. And they both have... This guy does 2 damage, so... we both take... And game over. Abbott was down to 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. With the shield, he's able to reduce it to 1, so he literally survives in the last moment, while Smith takes 2 damage. Okay, back to us. That shield really saved us. I don't know if I have to disregard the shield or keep it in play. I'm going to keep it. Okay, rolling for our next attack. Okay, a block from our friend Smith there. However, Smith is done because, again, we can't block. The shield that blocks only 1, and he's down to 1. So, game over. We lose this one. And I was expecting to because this is my first go, really. I didn't do a play test beforehand, but I wanted to try it on camera. But there we go. This is Castle, or Escape the Dark Castle, and it was very intriguing. I actually really liked it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll probably do another Dark Castle video later this week.